Shalom and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Pastor Paul, the ShofarMaker. And now here I have a Gideon Torch Shofar video 992 DJ size. And our DJ size is measured anything after 23 inches right up to 26 inches. Yeah, measured straight from tip to tip. Yeah, this is a longer horn, but we have cut off the tip here already, and we're going to tune and craft this shofar before you until the engraving. You will see how we do it. So before I proceed on the this particular Gideon Torch Shofar, I just want to tell you how I first started off with the Gideon's instruments. Yeah, I started off in by getting these horns, which I do not know what to use it for, the torch. And there's another one which looks like a sword. It is made from the waterbuck antelope shofar, yeah, antelope horn. So about five over years ago, I got the horn from my agent in Africa, South Africa, and I do not know what to do with the horns, yeah, the eland and the waterbuck, and I left it for 2 years while waiting upon the Lord on how am I going to proceed on to craft the shofars and for what purpose. So after 2 years, the Lord impressed upon me and said, I want you now to craft the two instruments that I've given to Gideon, yeah, namely the torch, yeah, shofar, and another one, the sword. But the sword shofar, I have already run out, finished my stocks on the sword shofar. The first batch that I have already sold it all off. So probably another 2 months times or so, I will have the waterbuck horn in hand. Then I will craft it before you. So now, before I proceed, I just want to share with you the Gideon's army. So the Gideon's army, if we look into the Bible in Judges chapter 6, it is most interesting, yeah, when how the Lord actually identify this Gideon, yeah, call him, yeah, out and says that the Lord is with you in Judges chapter 6 verse 12, yeah. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, the Lord is with you, you mighty man of valor. And the angels called Gideon Giborim, yeah, you mighty man of valor. Even when Gideon didn't see himself as somebody who's mighty, but God saw in him the spirit that's already in him, which is a mighty man of valor. Like God calls each and every one of us here. We may be thinking we are a very small person, we do not know things, and yeah. And as we progress upon this Judges chapter 6, 7, and 8, then you will see, yeah, God actually have a purpose for you. Even as a small man, you're thinking that you are small and you didn't go into the battle to fight. But God actually has a purpose for you as well. Yeah. And here now he says, mighty man of valor. And but he say, this Gideon replied in this chapter 6, Judges chapter 6, verse 15. He say, pray Lord, how can I deliver Israel? Behold, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family. Do you see that? Yeah. We people are always sometimes giving an excuse when God called you, yeah, into the ministry, into the work that He has for you. We say, I'm just a small person, I'm just a simple person who just follow the Lord. I do not know, I'm not able to do anything. But God sees you differently. Yeah, your prayer is strong. Yeah, God sees you as a prayer warrior. It can be that. Yeah, not that must do great exploits. No, when you come into this Judges chapter 8, you will understand why. Yeah. So as we progress on, the Lord said to him, "Peace be unto you, do not fear, you shall not die." Then Gideon built an altar there to the Lord and called it the Lord of is peace. The Lord is peace. Jehovah Shalom. Yeah, this is how the angels of the Lord spoke to Gideon and Gideon's reply. And then we know about Gideon's testing out the angels, whether he is true. And he put out a fleece and put it upon the boulder. And he says, "Let the fleece be wet on top and everywhere around it be dry in the morning." Yeah, and it happened. And then again, Gideon said, "Now, Lord, let me just ask one more request." And he says, "Now, let the fleece be dry and all around it be wet." And again, the angels of the Lord grant that wish, and it was so. The fleece was dry in the morning on the top, and all around it is wet with morning dew. Amazing, the miracle of God when God calls you. Mighty man of valor. He sees something in you before you even see it in yourself. You think that I'm the smallest. The Gideon says, I hide in the threshing floor, away from the sight of the enemy. The sight of the enemy, because the enemy was hundreds of thousands, and when they go into the Israelite place, they actually basically sack the whole place, clear out the whole place until there's nothing for the Gideonites, the Israelites, to eat. So they hide whatever in places and produce their own food. So as we move on, you see that in chapter 6 again, when Gideon was saying, I'm the least. And in this chapter 6, verse 34, but the Spirit of the Lord took possession of Gideon. And Gideon sounded the trumpet, and the Abiezrites were called out to follow him. And he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, and they too were called out to follow him. And he sent messengers to Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali, and they went up to meet him. Then Gideon said to God, "If thou wilt deliver Israel by my hand, as thou hast said, behold, I'm laying a fleece of the threshing floor." This is where the fleece, the testing of it, comes about. And as we progress on in this, looking into chapter 7, when they were gathered about, as the Bible here says, gathered up to 32,000 people. 32,000 from all the different tribes, the Manasseh, the Zebulons, and the rest they are with the Israelites, that they were scattered throughout the nation, throughout the land, because they were being mistreated and they would be chased, so they are separated. But when the Spirit come upon Gideon and Gideon blew the shofar, the people start to gather. 32,000 of them. And in verse 7, the Lord said to Gideon in this chapter 7, verse 2, the Lord said to Gideon, "The people with you now are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands." The people who have gathered, the Israelites, "lest Israel vaunts themselves against me, saying, my own hand has delivered me. Now, therefore, proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whoever is fearful and trembling, let him return home." And Gideon tested them. 22,000 people returned, only 10,000 remain. This is God's instruction, to weed out the people who are People might be saying at the end of the war, oh, it is because we are so many people, we managed to win the battle. Yeah, and we know that how many the Lord actually chose. Yeah, the Lord himself chose. He say, we move on here and he say, and the Lord said to Gideon, the people are still too many, even 10,000 is still too many. Take them down to the water and I will test them for you there. And he of whom I say to you, this man shall go with you, shall go with you, and any of them of whom I say to you, this man shall not go with you, shall not go. So this is found in this chapter 7, verse 4, 4 onwards, as you can see in this 5. And so he brought the people down to the water. Yeah, this is the Lord's testing. Yeah, 10,000 people down to the stream. It's not a few, it's a lot of people gathering there. So he brought the people down to the water, and then the Lord said to Gideon, everyone that laps the water with his tongue onto the stream, as a dog laps. Yeah, putting your head right down to the stream and lap the water as a dog. And the Lord called it the dog, as a dog laps. That means a dog laps the water. You shall set by himself likewise everyone that kneels down to drink. And the number of those that lapped, putting their hands to their tongues, were 300 men, but the rest of the people knelt down to drink water like dogs. That means those 300 men, when they went to the water edge there, they did not let go of their shield, did not let go of their spear. They were somehow holding on to it, and they scooped the water from the stream and drank it that way. All the while watching around and saying, oh, looking out for if the enemy would attack us, we will know. Yeah, so the Lord put out every one of them except 300 people who did that. Yeah, they knelt down and they put their hand, cup the water and drink. Yeah, this is what the Lord wants. The Lord sees you. Yeah, are you one of them? Yeah. The 300, I always say, the Lord, even from the 300, they break it into 3 companies of 100 each. And the number 3 is a perfection. Yeah, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. 300. 3, number 3. Yep. So as you can see here, the Midianite, the Amalekites and the Midianites, they were like locusts, and were like the sand upon the seashore. And the number is 135,000. Yeah, out of the 135,000, only 15,000 were left after the Gideonites blew the shofar and shout the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. Yeah, and before that, the instruction given by the Lord is that give each one of them a torch with a jar, a pot over the fire, which is one of the first miracles they can see in the battle. Because with a fire lighted up, if you're going to cover it with a jar, or we call it pot, the fire will definitely be extinguished. Yeah, because the oxygen just cannot be in there and sustain that fire. Yeah, the reason why the Lord put that fire with a pot there, the instruction, is so that the enemy won't see them coming, the Gideonites coming onto the edges of the brim of the valley. Yeah, so they did that, and he says, when the time comes, told Gideon, when you shout, yeah, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon, before that, they will break that pot and let the fire burst forth. And that pot, mind you, it is us who are made of clay, made of the dirt of the earth. And this is the body, yeah, that's made of clay. that covers the light that's in us as the Holy Spirit has dwelt in us. Yeah, and it is time where we are going to burst forth, break that ego of ours. Yeah, that light of the Lord will shine forth again brightly in you, if you have not done that yet. Yeah, so if you look at the further on this chapter 7, you will see that the numbers the Lord described the enemy. The numbers are like the camels without numbers, the people without numbers. That was at that time when the people see it, they couldn't count it. And it's just like the sand upon the seashore for a description of multitude. That's how many it is. A lot. Behold, I dream a dream, and a cake of barley bread tumbled onto the camp of Midians and came to the tent and struck it so that it fell, and turned it upside down so that the tent lay flat. This is one of the dream that the Lord actually gave to Gideon. Yeah, and the one of the soldier that was following him. Yeah, and this is to no other than the sword. And this comrade answered, "This is no other than the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel. Into his hand God has given Midians and all the hosts." So this is a very strong. When the Lord says, "Go in, find the strong man and set the captives free," yeah, the Lord will lead you. So as we move on again into this chapter 7 verse 15, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and its interpretation, he worshipped and he returned to the camp of Israel and said, "Arise, for the Lord has given the host of Midians into your hand." And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies and put trumpets into the hands of all of them and empty jars with torches inside the jars. This is where the miracles is happening. Yeah, in this chapter 7 verse 16, you see the 300 men into 3 companies, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah, "Look at me and do likewise," Gideon said. "When I come to the outskirts of the camp, do as I do. When I blow the trumpet, and all who are with me, then blow the trumpet onto every side of all the camp and shout for the Lord and for Gideon." Yeah, the name of Gideon is very good. Yeah, so Gideon and the 300 men who were with him came to the outskirts of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch, midnight hour, when they had just set the watch, and they blew the trumpets and smashed the jar that were in their hands. The body, the ego, the Lord wants us to be broken, yeah, before your light shines forth. The light of the Spirit that's in you shines forth. Yeah. And in chapter 7 verse 20, and the three companies blew the trumpets and broke the jars, holding in their left hand the torch, and in their right hand the sword for the Lord and for Gideon. They have a sword, but they did not draw the sword. Yeah, they don't have 3 hands. Yeah, one hand the torch. Yeah, the torch. One hand the trumpet, the shofar. Yeah, so and when they did as accordingly to what God said, to bind the strong man. In this verse 21, they stood every man in his place around about the camp, and all the army ran. They cried out and fled. When they blew the 300 trumpets, the Lord set every enemy sword against his fellow and against all the army, and the army fled as far as Beersheba towards Zerah, and as far as the border Abel Meholah by Tabbath. And the men of Israel were called out from Naphtali, from Asher, from Manasseh, and they pursued after the Midians. Mind you, listen well. The 300 people, the 300 Gideonites army, did not enter the camp of the enemy. But when they blew the shofar and smashed that pot that's covering the torch, the Lord set everyone the enemy against each other. And out of 135,000 that was there, 120,000 people of the enemy killed themselves, drawing the sword against each other. In the night time, when they see the lights are being forth and the sound of the shofar being sounded, and each shofar being sounded is actually, in the olden times, each shofar being sounded leads a battalion, of people. The numbers which we do not know as it's very moment. I do not know. But each shofar that is sounded actually guides a battalion of people. And the enemy, when they heard that sound, they know that suddenly the torch just lighted up and the sound of the shofar, 300 surrounding them in 3 companies. It really caused confusion. The Lord caused confusion in the enemy's camp. And Gideon, after that, you see the enemies, the 15,000 that was there. You can see it in chapter 8, Judges chapter 8, verse 10. You will see here, now Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor with the enemy, about 15,000 men, all who were left of all the army and of the people of the east, for there had fallen 120,000 who drew the sword and killed their own people. The enemy killed their own, and only 15,000 were left. And the best thing here is you see the Gideonites, they chase, in this verse 4, chapter 8, verse 4, and Gideon came to the Jordan and passed over, he and the 300 men who were with him, faint, tired, dead tired, in other words, our language, faint, and yet pursuing. The 300 men were still alive. They did not enter the fight in the valley. The Lord caused confusion among them. And these 300 men, they were pursuing, although tired, they were pursuing, all of them alive, non-injured, because they were not in the fight in the valley. So when the Lord calls you, mighty man of valor, listen well. You might be small, but you do not know the purpose and the plan that the Lord has for you in your life. So just get ready and listen and let the Spirit speak to you. So it is in this verse 6, 7, and 8, it is a very encouraging chapter of the Bible. Judges 6, 7, and 8. So go back and read yourself and see and hear what the Lord has to speak to you. So as for now, I want to tune the Gideon Torch Shofar video 992 DJ before you. It is already a full polish horn, not yet a shofar. And because why I've not drilled anything here, there's no hole here yet. The bell has already been cleaned out nicely. So here what I want to do and show you the steps of how I tune the torch shofar is first I got to determine how deep is this hollow here, where it ends. So what I do is I have a piece of for me I use a spun wire. I can use any galvanized iron wire. But for me I use a spun wire so that it can be flexible for me, and it is very effective. But you need to spin 3 cord of the iron, galvanized iron wire together. Spin it before you spin the whole three together, three lengths together, so that you can get a flexibility. If not, you won't be able to get this tension here. So what I will do here is that I put this length of this measuring galvanized iron wire here into the opening here, the bell, and I find that okay, this is where the whole thing has actually gone in. This is a DJ size, so it's rather long, so it has gone in here to the edge here of the bell, and I take it out and I measure it on the outside. So as I measure it on the outside, I find that okay, this one ends at this point, and I just take a crayon or chalk and just mark it up. You can see that, just mark it up, so that I know that the end of this hollow here reach up to here, nearing to the end of the where I'm going to form the mouthpiece. You can see that, and what I do with this particular Eland horn is that I want to get the I've measured here 6.5 inches here as a marking point where I'm going to do the engraving after here at this point. I will do it. I'll show it to you how I do the engraving as well. So as for now here, I would like to just start to drill and to tune this particular shofar before you. So let us proceed. So this is a drill bit here, and this drill bit I'm using as a beginning for drilling. I'm using a 5.5 mm diameter, high HSS high speed drill. You cannot use a those drilling for wood, but you need to you actually use one which actually drills metal. Then it won't deform when it's too hot, because we are drilling it through this horn material, which is quite tough. So I have already measured. So what I will do, I know that this is the point where the hollow ends. I've already marked it, and what I do is I want to get the point of drilling that is be correct. So I will have two sides. I'll measure two sides here. That means I will do this way. This is one position here, and then I'll do on the other side, so that I have two angle point of reference. So now on the right side, what I did, you can do it on the left side if you want, it's okay, but I do it this way, getting the best straight line that I can, knowing where the hollowness of this horn here, whether it is on the upside. You can see that I've actually like this way. Sometimes this position here might be even going up, and the angles as you work your way around crafting a shofar, drilling it, you will more or less know where the end of the horn, the hollow is. So I have already drawn 2 points, one line here reference, and then the other side here reference. So I have 2 angles to check. So what I will do here now is that I will do a center point, as a marking, because now here there's no marking there, and when you do the drilling on it, it will tend to skip around. So we do a centering on it. You can even use a nail if you want to. Use a nail to sort of center it. You can see that. The center point. Let me just sort of light it up a bit for you so that you can actually see it. You see that? And there's the center point of it, so more or less the center. So what I'll do now is I'm taking this 5.5 mm high speed drill, yeah, to actually use the guidelines of these 2 points that I have already done, and I'll drill it through. You can see that. One of the tips here for you to use this drill is don't drill all the way through. Every time when you press in drill, probably about, for me, 1 cm, and then I'll withdraw it so that the debris can come out. The debris like this, the drilling bits here, yeah, the bits of it. And I'll drill again, and I proceed it slowly, because why? If you're going to drill all the way through, this drill will be twisted and your hand might be sprained, your wrist might be sprained, because it tends to bite towards the end when it hits the hollow. So catch the point where it can be. Pull out again. Don't drill right through. Yeah, through experience, I know that it's about to hit, because there's a different density in the horn. Yeah, from the tip here towards the point where the hollow is, there is different density in the horn shell itself. There it is, it hits again, the soft point. So that's the point where it will catch your drill bit if you are not careful. So pull out again and then go forward again. Now it has gone through totally. You see that? Yeah. Although it actually needs until this point for it to penetrate through, but I've actually pushed it all the way in. Yeah, to make sure the drill is perfect. So let us just clean up the table a bit here and hang it up. This drill of mine here, and I'll use a round mount steel reps file to sort of clear out the debris inside. You see that? It's very long. Yeah. Although I only need this part. Yeah, I only need this part actually, because the hole actually ends here. The hollow ends here. But I have decided to just push it in through so that the debris can all be cleared out nicely. And here the debris here has come out, and I'll give it to here the drill, the 5.5 mm drill that it has made that hole there, and see how the air flows. You hear the sound? You hear the sound? This is a sound of a perfectly drilled hole to start the tuning process, whole tuning process of the shofar. So as what I will do now is I will use a form the mouthpiece after the drilling. Yeah, I'll use this cone. Yeah, this cone shape carbide burr. The diameter at the widest point is about 10.5 to 11 mm. Yeah, that's the diameter of it, and it's a cone shape. Yeah, cone shape. So any cone shape can, length of the cone shape can be done, can be used, yeah. But this particular one is about a 16 mm. This length of this cutting length, yeah, cutting length of it. So the cutting length means from this point here, yeah, the widest, biggest diameter right up to the tip here. That is cutting point. And this is a cross cut, yeah, cross cut burr, yeah. It's not a single cut, it's cross cut, so you have a better perfect cut. So try and get the double cut, cross cut, not a single cut. So what I do now is I'm going to form the mouthpiece here by using this, yeah. Twist it around so that I can just enlarge it. Yeah, start to enlarge and form the mouthpiece. So the cutting surface of the cone, I've actually gone right to the maximum of it. You see that? The maximum of the cut surface. So having done this already, completed this process, I will test and see how the initial sound can be. So I know that the sound, the airflow is good. So what I will do is this is just the basic of the drill, the cone drill. So what I will do now here is I'm going to use my tungsten carbide burr, which is the oval shape, and the length of the cut is also a cross cut. Yeah, as you can see, it's also a cross cut. You see that? Cross cut. And this is probably a 6 mm biggest diameter that is on this oval burr. Yeah, and the cutting surface here can be 7, it's okay, 7, 8, it's immaterial, but just make sure that you have this oval shape so that when you want to do the cup, yeah, the cup there inside the mouthpiece, you can do it better with a oval shape. So what I'll do now is I will take this and I'll start to form the shape of the mouthpiece. So every time use one finger here and the thumb here so that you can have a more stable surface where you can control this cutting surface of this oval shape. You see that? So you can see that I've sort of enlarged the mouthpiece inside there, and this edge here, make sure when you are doing the hole you don't make this edge here too thin because it will cut your lips. Yeah, so give it a a certain surface of the rim here. The rim is about I would say 1.5 1.5 mm to 2 mm maximum, yeah, for you to be able to get a certain control. So this is the next step of the sound to test it out. You hear that? It's very nice sound, but to me it can further improve by enlarging this surface here. Yeah, to give it a lip at the edge here. Yeah, to enlarge it. And to enlarge it, we need a very high heat of about 600 to 700 Celsius industrial heat gun. Yeah, to able to soften this particular horn at this position. And then after that, we will use this cone, which is just a plumb bob, yeah, customized plumb bob, to actually increase the size here. But before we can increase the size here, we need to heat it up so that it can be more malleable, this particular horn. But control the heat and don't give it full blast into it if you are not sure, because it will melt the horn. Then you have trouble to reform again the mouthpiece. Yeah, so what I do here is I fill it up. Don't direct all the way. You can see the heat there. Very hot. So what I do now is, I know that it's a bit more softer, so I will start to form the rim, the lip of the mouthpiece. Yeah, this is my method of making the shofar, crafting the shofar. I form a lip there around the edge. Yeah. Yeah, I can see more or less. Yeah, you see the enlarged portion there. It has formed a lip there. Yeah, that means it is no more a flat straight on, but it sort of give it a curve outwards. Yeah, curve outwards. This to form a lip of the trumpet mouthpiece as a natural trumpet mouthpiece on a natural horn. Yeah, and we are the diameter of this particular mouthpiece is not always the same. Yeah, we will test it as we do it. We will test it and hear the sound. And mind you, be careful. This is very hot. Yeah, now it's very hot. But for me, I'm used to it. I know how to adjust the and to sort of control the heat on my lips rather than directly burn my lips. Yeah, so I know more or less. I touch it here. I'm actually cooling it down with my hand. Yeah. So let's hear the sound. Okay. Now I know that this lip here is already more or less there, but I want to enlarge it further a bit, yeah, to get a certain tone which I want. This is through experience that I can get the tone that I want. Okay, again, it's a bit loose, so I can just tighten it up a bit. Yeah, if not, it'll be very dangerous. So what I will do is just make sure that this whole carbide burr won't fly off my this rotary tool. Yeah, yes, come out a bit. You can see that. Yeah, this point here, it came out. So what I do is I'll lock it. Yeah, I'll lock it with this key here, and just use a plier and loosen it a bit, and then let it drop back in. You can see that just now was a bit out this way, and it can be kind of precarious if this thing flies off. Yeah, so I let it drop down, back down, and I tighten it again. This is all through experience, so you must be able to be alert and notice your tools. yeah, the capability of your tools. So what I have here now, I will yep. Now I'm going to enlarge it further using this oval carbide burr. Okay, so I think it's already perfect, very good. So what I'll do is I'll just use a sandpaper grit about 280 or 300, yeah, this is a waterproof sandpaper to sort of round off the edges so they won't be sharp and cutting like a knife edge, yeah. So let's hear the sound. A very nice droning tone, which I'll call it the low G droning tone. Yeah, very nice. And when the enemy hears this droning tone of the shofar at the edge of their camp, they hear it and they panic because they know that with each shofar that has been blown, there is a company, there's a battalion following each person who blew the shofar because they are the one who leads the charge. Yeah, but in the Gideonite attack, no one of the Gideons go into the valley to fight. God fought their battle by causing them confusion, that they kill each other. Yeah, 135,000, only 120,000 were dead, 15,000 flee, and then after that, 300 of the Gideonites together with the other tribes pursue. Yeah, but the best thing here is when they have already won that particular battle, in this Judges chapter 8, the people begin in verse 1. It says, and the men of Ephraim said so to him, what is this that you have done to us, not to call us when you went to fight with the Midians? The Midians, they were pursuing the Midians, and they upbraided him violently, upbraided Gideon violently, and he said to them, Gideon answered, what have I done now in comparison with you? This is where those who think that, oh, I'm a small person, I don't know what to do, but I wanted to go and join the mission team, but you never call me. Yeah, so this is what the Lord has to say to you. Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abizel? God has given into your hands the prince of Midians, Oreb and Zeb. What have I been able to do in comparison with you? Then their anger against him was abated when he had said this. Yeah, the people who didn't join the mission team and they were very, very furious about it. Why didn't they call us? We would love to join you in the mission field. But this is what Gideon told them. Isn't the gleaning? Yeah, you have provided the means for the missions to go forward. And they have gone forward. And you're involved in the gleaning, that you're involved in the harvesting of the souls and to minister to the souls that has been won. Yeah. So you see that? The group go forward and fight the battles, won the souls, but the people who are from behind, they enter the fields and they glean the fields. They take care of the remainder, the people who were safe at that particular time. Yeah, they glean the fields. clear up all the harvest that has dropped onto the floor, and has still on the sheaves that's in the farm, in the fields. Yeah. So this is where you are. There's your position. Yeah. As a people who support the missions, the missionaries go forth. So rest assured, your role is no small role. Yeah. Your roles can be sponsoring the word of God to them, sending out the missions who will follow up and teach them and make disciples of the people. So as you have seen this particular shofar, and I told you as well, I'm going to, as I tune this before you, and here you have heard the droning sound, I'm going to engrave the menorah before you. So let me just show you how I engrave the menorah. Yeah, the menorah, I use another tungsten carbide burr, which is a round burr. Yeah, let me show you. It's a round burr. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, I try to capture. This is a round burr here, right at the tip here, and this burr is probably about a 1 mm or 0.7 mm diameter burr. Yeah, it's a very small burr. This is for engraving the menorah that I have in my engraving designs. Yeah, so I'm going to engrave this menorah before you. So there, here goes. I've already captured the center, yeah, of this alignment to the mouthpiece, because why? I know the curve of the horn. Yeah, there's a curve here, so I picked the area which is there's a depression here, and underneath here there is actually a curve up, and this is the surface I want to engrave it. So here goes. Yeah, I'm engraving the 7-branch menorah as in Exodus chapter 25. These are all done as a craft. Yeah, I don't use a machine or laser, no, handcraft. Here I have a basic design already out. Yeah, you can see that. Basic design already there. So now I will put in the branches. So the branch has been engraved in. So I'm going to do the fire lighting up, and then the base of the menorah. the fire has already been engraved there. You see the top of the menorah, yeah, the flames, like the flames, and now the base. Okay, I'm making the base of the menorah, engraving it. Yeah, one more line. See that? So engraved already, the menorah. So I'm just going to clean it up and light it up with a gold colored ink pen, gold colored. Yep, so already completed engraving. Yeah, and let us light up it with a gold pen, gold ink pen, Art-Line 999 XF. Yeah, it's not easy to get this particular what we call that, the Art-Line pen 999 XF gold, and the tip is 0.8. You can see that it's 0.8 tip. You see that 0.8. Yeah. So this is the best gold ink that I have tried out through my years. How many years I'm doing the shofar? This is my 18th year of crafting shofars. So I find that this color is the best. Let's light it up, and then you will see for yourself. Okay, completed shofar before you. Yeah, you see the menorah engraved and lighted up. Yeah, and this shofar, I would say, is a dark olive green color to coffee brown color. Yeah, different shades of coffee brown color. You can see that, very beautiful. Yeah, the shape of the Gideon Torch Shofar. Yeah, so this has being read to you regarding the Judges chapter 6, 7, and 8, and also the crafted and tuned before you the Gideon Torch Shofar. Gideon Torch Shofar. Gideon Torch Shofar a bit later when I have the raw horns in hand. So give us a like on this video, 992 DJ size, and also subscribe and share with your friends, your network of friends throughout the world, that they also be interested to see this particular video and get a Gideon Torch Shofar 300, the perfection that God has created when He say 300 Gideonites, no more, lest anyone boast and says that we are many and we managed to win the battle. The Lord doesn't need a lot of people out. The core group, no. The thousands, no. The God just choose 300 people. Very, very good. 32,000 to 10,000 and then to 300. So I've heard this particular droning Gideon Torch Shofar, and give us a like as I said, and subscribe to us and share with your friends to encourage them to get shofar. It's what you see is what you get. So I hope you enjoy this video, this teaching video from the beginning, and then tune this particular Gideon Torch Shofar right before you, for you to hear, for you to see how I do the whole complete shofar until the engraving of the menorah. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you all, and shalom.